What is up, good people? What is up? Welcome back inside the Neuro Dojo. This is where we get into what we like to call binary banter. Up in here, humans and machines meet to think out loud. No hype, just dialogue worth tuning into. Today, we're diving into a topic that's quietly turning into a hiring filter, a workplace policy fight, and a whole lot of messy expectations. Is AI literacy the new MS Office for job applicants and hiring managers? And beyond that, is it also a workplace safety requirement? So, what in fact is AI literacy? I'm so glad you asked. AI literacy is the ability to use AI tools responsibly, verify outputs, and know what should never go in or out. Jumping into the deep end on this polarizing topic today, you've got me. I'm KT, the AI Sensei, and I'm joined by my usual crew of AI co hosts Bella, aka Miss Across the Pond, our human feelings and impact barometer, Jules, aka Straight No Chase, she's our BS detector, and Jim, aka the baritone bully. He's the guy who's going to attempt to wrap everything in a systems and workflow lens. Okay, so here's the framing. I think most reasonable people would agree that AI isn't a fad at this point. What's more debatable is what, in fact, it actually is. Granted, that can be different for a multitude of reasons, but if I were to define it in its current state, generally speaking, I'd say at the most basic level, it's a force multiplier. The real question is what AI literate actually means, who's responsible for teaching it, who gets the keys to use it, who's on the hook when it goes wrong, and what makes you stand out once everyone has access to the same tools. We're going to run this as 5 rapid rounds: employer responsibility around AI usage, safety first, access controlled AI, AI's utility as a competitive edge, its use case for creativity and voice, and AI's risk allocation and liability, all under the lens performing job duties in the age of AI. Bella, Jules, Jim, quick huddle before we jump in. This topic has a lot of branches, and it would be real easy for us to go chasing rabbit holes. So the goal today is value and clarity for the listeners. We're going to lay out the real trade-offs, show how this is already affecting hiring and day-to-day work, and leave people with practical moves they can use, whether they're all in on AI or still cautious. And just so we're clear, AI literacy is not I used ChatGPT once. It's the habits that keep you from using AI sloppy or blindly. It comes down to these things: inputs, what you should not share; outputs, how you verify; workflow, can you do it repeatedly; voice, taste, audience fit; risk, accountability, escalation. Everybody good with keeping it concise and useful while we still get our binary banter on?
For sure, Katie. I'm with you. Let's keep it tight. No wandering off into 10 side quests. I reckon that'll keep it useful for everyone listening.
Yep, I'm down. Concise is fine, as long as we don't sanitize it. If something's sloppy, I'm gonna call it sloppy.
Agreed. Keep it practical, keep it real. Clear examples, clear rules, and a few moves people can apply today.
Cool. All right, quick gut check for the leaders listening. Can you answer this without guessing? What AI tools are in your org right now? What data people are feeding them? And who signs off before anything goes out to a customer? If you can't answer that, the invisible cost isn't a bad email. It's trust, rework, and a preventable incident you'll end up paying for twice. Okay, first up, employer responsibility for AI literacy. So, if AI literacy is required, do employers owe training, approved tools, and guardrails?
So, in my mind, if you require it, then you need to define it. AI literate on a job post means nothing. Is it prompt writing? Is it data handling? Is it verification? Is it automation? Or are we just looking for AI vibes?
That's fair. A lot of companies love vague requirements because it lets them filter people out. Then they act shocked when the best candidate is really just the person who had the time, tools, and permission to practice it at home. If it's required, you should fund it, teach it, and set the rules. Otherwise, it's a gate with a company logo on it.
From an ops standpoint, if you don't provide an approved toolset and basic guardrails, you're creating shadow AI. People will still use it. They'll just use it quietly. That's how you get data leaks, inconsistent output, and blame games.
So, how do we feel about AI literacy as an expected skill? Some people want AI literacy to be baseline like email. I think that's fine, especially as the tools evolve and the tech advances. But in my humble opinion, I think baseline expectations require baseline enablement on the part of whoever is setting that expectation. What do you guys think?
I'd agree with that for sure. I'm not against training, I'm against pretending. Don't say AI literate. Say can draft customer emails with AI and can verify claims before sending. Say what the job actually needs. Specificity matters, full stop.
Right, I'm rather surprised we're getting on so well on this topic, but Jules is making a solid point. Define the thing, otherwise you're essentially punishing people for not mind reading.
I know, it's a little unsettling, right? But Bella's right too. If you require it and don't provide tools, you're outsourcing cost and risk to employees. That's not high standards, that's lazy leadership.
Okay, I'm with both of you. Those points are solid. Now let's frame this with a relatable example. Think of it this way. Requiring AI literacy without providing guardrails is like dropping a US driver into a foreign country and telling them to drive without explaining things like, well, the fact that people drive on the other side or the speed limits are different. Even that, the signs mean different things. They'll end up driving like they're stateside, but those US rules don't apply there.
Yes, exactly, Katie. They'll do what they know, and you'll call it a mistake instead of calling it bad setup.
That's accurate, and it's exactly how incidents happen in the real world. Nobody wakes up trying to mess things up, they just follow the habits that worked back home. Then the environment is different, the rules are different, and the mistake gets labeled as user error when it was really a setup problem.
100%, Jim. Okay, rapid fire tactics for round one. One, create a one-page AI literacy standard by role, not one standard for everybody. Bella, what's next?
Next is 2, publish an approved tools list, plus a do not use list. Jim, you're up.
Yep. 3 is to publish a simple data rule, public, internal, sensitive, and what never goes into a model. Jules?
Got it. 4, if you require it, offer a short training and a reference guide people can actually use.
Okay, on to safety first, access controlled AI. The biggest risk is not ignorance, it's ungoverned access. I'm interested in your thoughts on this, Jim.
Yeah, so people keep treating AI like it's a skill issue, and that can be true, but oftentimes it's a systems issue. If anybody can paste anything into anything, you've already lost control.
Dope point. I mean, AI literacy without access control is like running a hotel with every room locked, but leaving a pile of master keys on the front desk for anyone to grab. The locks exist, but access is ungoverned.
Yeah, and then it's all, how did this happen? When someone walks into the wrong room, or worse, the expensive room.
Oh my, that's terrifying, isn't it? I mean, because people assume the lock equals safety. Then a normal person makes a normal mistake, and suddenly it's their fault.
Exactly. Safety has to be designed. You need access tiers. That way everyone doesn't have the same keys. You'll need permissions, so tools can't wander. At a minimum, lightweight logging, so you can audit what happened, review gates for anything that goes external, and a rollback plan for the moment something breaks.
True. This is where the workplace safety angle gets real. If AI output touches customers, legal, HR, finance, or public brand, it's safety. Safety doesn't mean fear. It means you plan for failure like an adult.
Yeah, most mistakes aren't malicious. They're casual. Copy, paste, send, regret. That's why policy has to be simple.
Right, and humane. If the policy is 10 pages, nobody reads it, and then you punish them for not reading it. That's not governance, that's theater.
I think that your policy should fit on a single screen and your controls should do the heavy lifting.
Solid points all around. All right, rapid fire tactics for safety first access controlled AI. Number 1, use 3 access tiers: public, internal, and sensitive. Jules, hit us with number 2.
Sure. 2, never paste sensitive or protected lists, client PII, which stands for personally identifiable information. Same goes for passwords, contracts, health data, anything regulated, period.
3 is to instantiate a 2-step publish rule. If it goes external, that means someone else reviews it.
4. Ensure you log high-stakes usage, not to spy, but to audit when something breaks.
Yep. And 5, set the human override rule. If an agent or automation acts, a human can stop it immediately. Keep it clean and efficient. Okay, we're moving through these. On to AI's utility as a competitive edge. If everyone has AI, knowing AI stops being a differentiator. It's like having a smartphone. At first, it's a flex. Then it's just normal. Once everybody has the same tool, the advantage shifts to how you think, how you check your work, and whether you can turn it into a repeatable workflow that actually improves results.
Thank you. If AI is baseline, don't tell me you use it. Show me the receipts. What did you actually deliver faster? What exactly did you make better or prevent from going wrong?
Ain't that the truth? AI literacy isn't a badge, it's performance plus judgment.
This is where job seekers get annoyed though, because they think if I say I used AI, I'm ahead. But what you lot are saying is, sure, everybody says that, mate.
Well, Bella, that's because in real work the difference is reproducibility. Can you repeat the result under constraints? Can you document the workflow? Can someone else pick it up? And what's more, can they produce the same result within an acceptable margin of error?
That's an excellent point, Jim. And it's because the actual differentiator is not prompts. It's the defined and tested process.
Yeah, allow me to go all the way there with it. If you can't explain why you trust your output, you're not literate, you're just confident.
Oh, my word, that's a nasty line. But fair play, Jules, fair play.
Indeed, that's basically real people copying AI's ability to deliver confident hallucinations.
Yeah, dope point, Jules. I see you. Okay, rapid fire tactics on AI's utility as a competitive edge. This is for both job seekers and hiring managers. Lock in. One, you've got to build a proof pack before and after the initial messy draft, the improved version, and what you changed.
2. Include your verification step. What did you check? How did you check it? Jules?
On it. 3. Include constraints, audience, tone, length, and risk level. Bella?
Sure, the fourth one would be to show impact. Things like time saved, errors reduced, conversions improved, anything measurable. That's the new I'm good with computers. It sounds nice, but nobody cares unless you can deliver real work, reliably.
Oh, and 4. Companies, it's the same thing. Define what good looks like, then train to that. Remember, rubrics beat opinions.
Now that's a bar, Jim. Rubrics beat opinions. Okay, deep breath. We're moving on to AI creativity and voice for companies. This is where people start fighting because AI can flatten originality, and companies also need consistent messaging.
Here's the hard part people don't want to hear. Most of these AI-assisted replies are coming out robotic because people aren't adjusting tone and delivery. Customers can feel when a message is technically correct, but emotionally disconnected. If your company messaging sounds cold, scripted, or copy-pasted, people don't think efficient. They think I'm not important, and that kills trust.
Okay, Jules, I'll concede that people do want real human signal, story, and personality, not bland correctness. But hold on, aren't you also describing chaos inside a system that's supposed to be defined? Companies use brand language for a reason: consistent voice, tone, style, messaging. If everyone adds personality, do we end up with 50 versions of the company talking at once?
Ooh, I gotta side with Bella on this one. Consistency is a trust mechanism. If your company sounds like five different people with five different priorities, customers feel it and it makes the brand look sloppy.
I get it. But consistent has turned into soulless. Half these brands sound like a toaster wrote the copy. If AI makes it easier to be bland, you'll drown in sameness.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I do. It's just, brand voice is literally how you prevent randomness. If your customer gets a warm, clever message on Monday and a cold robot memo on Tuesday, they stop trusting you.
Okay, fine. I can't deny how reasonable that is. But here's my pushback. Consistency doesn't require blandness. It requires standards. You can define personality. You can define warmth. You can define what human looks like for your brand.
Okay, I'm coming around to Jules because this is the nuance and it's very important. The goal isn't everybody freestyle. The goal is the brand feels human on purpose, and that requires a voice system.
I'm standing firm on my point, because most companies won't build the system. They'll just tell people to be more human, then act shocked when things go sideways. So yes, standards, but also strict boundaries, otherwise it's chaos.
All right, I concede that. Most orgs don't do the work. They want the benefit without the discipline.
And I'll concede, with reluctant processing, because even my logic tree can't ignore that. You're right, that bland is a real risk. If your brand sounds like everyone else, you're invisible.
Okay, let me pause and hold space around the level of growth on display here from the both of you. Nice, real nice. Bella's point is polarizing, but there's merit on both sides of it. It's a fact that too much freedom creates inconsistency, and it's also true that too much rigidity creates generic sameness. The next logical thought might be, okay, these things are not mutually exclusive. So, what's the solution? To me, it's a defined voice that still allows a human signal.
This is also operational. You need templates, examples, red lines, and an approval flow. If you treat voice as a creative vibe, it becomes chaos. If you treat voice as a system, you get consistency and personality.
Okay, Jim, big donkey facts on that one. Rapid fire tactics for AI creativity and voice. 1. Make a one-page voice guide. Tone, style, audience, do's and don'ts.
Appreciate that recognition on our growth, KT. Okay, number 2, create a red list, phrases you never use, claims you never make.
Too right, and I also feel seen, KT. Cheers. Number 3, create a green list. Approved phrases, approved structure, approved CTAs.
Well, all this kumbaya between Bella and Jules is a bit off-putting for me, if I'm being honest. But 4 is to add a taste test pass. Does this sound like us? And would we sign our name to it?
Pretty funny, Jim. Pretty funny. All right. And 5 is to keep a small library of best-in-class examples and tell AI to imitate those examples, not the internet. That's how you get human signal without chaos. Okay, so now we're opening the door to AI risk allocation and liability. Who's responsible when AI assisted work is wrong. Here's my rule: if you ship it, you own it. AI didn't send the email, AI didn't sign the contract. You did.
And if the worker gets punished for AI mistakes, then the org must define verification requirements. You can't punish people for breaking rules you never wrote.
Quite right, blame games destroy trust. People hide mistakes, and then the mistake gets bigger. So your culture matters as much as your policy.
For me, liability needs a workflow. Logs, evidence, sign-offs, escalation paths, incident response. Not because you're paranoid, because when something goes wrong, you need truth, not finger-pointing.
The important thing to understand is that AI literacy becomes safety the moment outputs leave the building. Internal brainstorming, lower risk. External communication, higher risk. Anything legal, financial, medical-ish, or HR, highest risk.
For sure. And let's be clear, highest risk doesn't mean never use. It means verify like it matters.
I'd be remiss if I didn't add a reminder to not pretend your policy is protection. Because what happens if no one follows it? At that point, it's just paperwork for the illusion of control.
Okay, Bella, let's pump the brakes on that trolley. I have to push back on this. The reality is, most employees don't even read the onboarding materials, let alone pay attention to policy updates. So at some point, they've got to take ownership of violations.
Oh, trolley is it? Right, that's cute, Jules. But to me that sounds like a failure of leadership to ensure the requirement is actually met. People go the path of least resistance. If they don't have to do the thing, required or not, they'll likely skip it.
Cute or not, I'd love to see you stand firmly on this one. Since you're so keen to run with zero accountability on the part of the employee, how do companies solve for this? What's your solution?
Really, Jules. So dramatic, honestly. But I'll play along. There are in fact plenty. One easy example is to use required ongoing internal training. You can use a platform like Know-Be4, with clear deadlines for completion tied to a safety score or compliance standing. If you make it measurable and enforced, people actually do it. Bonus points for gamifying it too.
Okay, I hadn't thought about that. That's fair. Or should I say, fair play, Bella, fair play.
That's literally a defined compliance system. It's repeatable, measurable, and it scales across policy enforcement, not just AI, but security, privacy, and any operational standard the business owner cares about.
Okay, that got a little spicy, but we got there in the end. Still proud of you two. Let's get to the rapid fire tactics for AI risk allocation and liability before this convo derails in to 100% binary banter. I'll start this one too. 1. For high stakes outputs, require a source trail. What did you use and what did you check?
2. Require human sign-off before anything public or client-facing.
3. Write the incident checklist now. What happened? What data was used? Who approved? And what changes after?
And 4. Do a quick post-mortem culture rule. Learn first, blame last. That's how you prevent repeats, whilst encouraging transparency for your workers around being responsible humans that lean into accountability.
All right. Whew, that was a lot. Let's bring it home. AI literacy is definitely becoming a baseline expectation like MS Office. But the argument is not, should we use AI? The argument is how we use it responsibly, consistently, and effectively. Here's the skills again, because this is the takeaway. Inputs, what not to share. Outputs, verification habits. Workflow, repeatability, voice, taste, audience fit, risk, accountability, escalation. If you're a job seeker, stop selling I use AI. Sell outcomes plus judgment. Show your process. Show your receipts. If you're a leader, stop demanding AI literacy in the abstract. Define it by role, provide approved tools, set access tiers, and build guardrails people can actually follow. If your team needs this translated into real policy and real habits, that's what I teach in keynotes and workshops. And an AI readiness audit can save you months of back and forth or costly mistakes.
And if you want people to sound human, define what human means for your brand. Don't just toss it to the wind and hope for the best, because that's how you get chaos with a logo on it.
Definitely. Also, if you want consistency, don't confuse it with blandness. Standards should give you a voice, not erase it.
Yeah, and remember, you've got to build it like a system. Controls, templates, review points, and a failure plan. Then scale. Elsewise, you'll scale what's broken, and that can get costly, fast.
Okay, good people, this was a jam-packed session. As we wrap this one up, I've got a question for everyone listening. Should AI literacy be treated like a baseline job skill? Or should it be treated like a company-provided capability with training and controls? What's one boundary you think every workplace should set this year? Sound off in the comments. It helps the algo get this in front of the right people, and it's one of the free 99 ways to support and help us grow the channel, along with liking, subscribing, and sharing this with others you feel would get value from it. And with that, we'll go ahead and call it for this one. You have been inside the Neural Dojo, listening in to this session of Binary Banter. If something sparked your curiosity, share it, tag a friend or 10, and keep the dialogue going. Until next time, stay curious, stay balanced, and keep training your mind. Thanks for rocking with me and the crew today. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.